4 o'clock in the morning.
Hello everyone and welcome to Stan the Wine Man TV. I am your host, Stan Rattan, and this is the Blue Collar Wine Show where I help you spend your wine dollars wisely. First off, I want to thank everybody that made comments on my video from Monday. I really appreciate it. Thank you, Mike Burns. Good suggestions. Wine and food pairings are important. Actually, I do try to mention a few times, you know, what these wines would go with, but that's always a good thing. As far as the dryness of the whites that I tasted, you know, dryness is so subjective. I mean, what's dry to me may not be dry to somebody else. That's a tough one. I understand what you're saying, but anyway, yeah, I'm not sure about that one. Dryness is a tough one, you know, because I've actually recommended wines that I thought were fruit forward, and some people thought they were dry. You hear what I'm saying. Also, I have to write this down because this is a tough one. Thanks for following. I'd like to give a shout out to a new follower on my YouTube station channel, Shanya Tagai. That's all I got. No name with that. But thanks for following and thanks for the comment. Also, he suggested I do a white episode, a red episode, and maybe a wild card episode, like, you know, maybe something different. Maybe a blind tasting would be good. Also, shout out to a really faithful follower, somebody who watches a lot of my YouTube videos, and I appreciate it, Mike H. I'm going to keep the last name out since I did last time. And he suggested that I post the wines that I reviewed down below in the posting area. I think that's a good idea. I started off doing that, and then I got away from it, but because I do have them in the video. But it is kind of nice to go down and look and see, and maybe you want to rewind and see that particular wine again in the order. That's a good suggestion. I'm going to stick to 3 videos a week. Mike Burns said 2 would be good. I think 2 to 3. I'm not going to stick to 3, but like wine that has a front, a middle, and a finish, I'm going to have a 1, 2, 3 videos a week. But I'm not going to stick to that. If I can only do 2, I can only do 2. Anyway, there you go. Today we're doing Nero di Avola from Sicily. We did Sicilian whites last time. Now we're doing reds from Sicily. In particular, Nero di Avola, which is the black of Avola. That's what it means. Obviously a black grape from the area of Avola in southern Sicily. Also can be, AKA, it's also called Calabrese. But, you know, might be useless information. Almost all of us know it as Nero di Avola, which is the name of the grape, and it's indigenous to Sicily. In other words, that's where it came from. That's where it originated, was in Sicily. So that's kind of cool. And actually, Nero di Avola is one of those wines that I always kind of guide people that are used to New World wines. I will guide them if they want to try Old World wines, Italy, Spain, France, Germany, those areas. I will lead them to Nero di Avola because I find that it has a little bit more fruit. It still has the minerality, still has the earthiness, but it has more fruit. So it allows these people that are used to maybe more fruit-forward wines, they can actually try something from the Old World, and it's not such a shock to their palate. So I do suggest Nero di Avola a lot of times. So here I have 2 straight-up Nero di Avolas. Whew, that's a tongue twister. Say it too many times. And then a blend of Nero di Avola Frappato. There you go. Let's start off with this one. This is the Nero di Avola Frappato. I believe that's what it is. I wrote it, yeah, Frappato. Never heard of that grape. This is the Trinacria Rosso from Sicily. It is let's find the vintage. I didn't even say the vintage on the last ones. How come I can't find the vintage? 2014, there it is. Give it a little rinse. This rolls in at $9. So $9. Here we go again with the $9 Sicilian wines. Here's a label. This is easier than zooming in. You don't know how many times I've shut off the video by accident, hit the wrong button, and had to start all over again. Don't like that. $9. Nero di Avola Frappato. Let's see what we get on the nose. So this has a very interesting kind of red, brickish, earthy nose. I'm getting a little bit of licorice and cherries. And that's one of the things I do like about Old World wines. You tend to get that more earth-driven nose, and this one has it. Okay, let's see what we get on the palate. Not bad. A little bit light, but it has good flavor. I like that kind of cherry, licorice, fruit flavors come through on the palate, and I also get that kind of earthiness, that red, crushed red brick, and a little bit of dirt action going on. Kind of a little bit of a baking spice component coming through on the backside, which I find interesting. Good acidity, but not overpowering. Has good balance. Like I said, it's definitely on the thin side, but what I like about this wine, it's $9. Be perfect, here you go, Mike. Perfect with burgers, pizza, stew, anything like that. Cottage pie, things like that. This would be really good with that. If you had something too heavily, actually this would be really good with chicken also. We're having chicken tonight. I might save it and see how it goes. I'll let you know. But you know, it's light, so you don't want anything like a big steak with all that protein and grease. Would not go well with this. So you have to be careful with that. But this is for those lighter things. Even a pizza, if it had too much on it, might be, a bad choice. But overall, this is just a really nice table red that you would enjoy. There's nothing wrong with it. It's a little bit thin, but it still has all the elements that make it a good wine. I'm going to go C on that. I think it's an average wine. It certainly isn't below average. Good, not bad for $9. Let's move on. We have the Tria Nero di Avola from Sicily, 2014. And this rolls in at $10. There you go. All right, give her a glass a little rinse. I'm gonna have to come up with a blind format. Mike H mentioned that, and I do like to do them. They take a little bit more work to put a blind tasting together. What I have to do is kind of get a bunch of wines together and ask somebody. Of course, Susie would probably not mind doing that for me, but picking out 3 wines and putting them together, numbering the bags, and yeah, I have to do one. They're really not that hard to do. Well, they're harder to do, let's just put it that way, but not that difficult. So get ready, I'll probably do a blind tasting episode next week. That's my plan. Okay, so this is the Tria Nero di Avola. Let's see what we get on the nose. This is a lot darker. See, this is the Frappato must have added that kind of that cherry element. This is definitely darker fruit. This has almost got chocolate notes on it, which is kind of curious. So I'm getting a little bit of currants, a little bit of bark, earth, and chocolate, which is kind of curious. Yeah, actually that it's kind of like somebody took a little bit of dried bark and blended it with some good chocolate and then threw in a few currants. That's what I'm getting. Let's see what we get on the palate. A lot more structure on this wine for sure. I wouldn't call this thin by any stretch of the imagination, but big on the acidity. It kind of surprised me with the nose being that darker fruit, kind of that chocolate. This is really bright on the palate, heavy on the acidity, makes your mouth water. It brightens up the fruit, so it's kind of like currants blended with citrus. There's definitely a citrus component coming through on the palate with this one. Yeah, absolutely. Kind of a lemon, orange, with a little currants blended in, and then that bark component, that earthy kind of bark element is coming through right on the backside. That acid is really penetrating, but it's because of the citrus element, you can accept it. My palate can accept it. In other words, it's okay, it's citrus. However, this would not be the Nero de Avola that I would direct a New World drinker to try Old World wines, because this is definitely Old World in style, high in acid. The acid, the citrus, the acid notes are actually almost out of balance with the rest of the wine. But this would be a great wine with a red pasta sauce, because that acid would cut through. You could have this with a steak, would probably tone down that acidity a little bit. This is not a bottle of wine that you would sit down, pop, pour, and watch your favorite movie with, or your favorite sitcom, or whatever you do, or read a book. Little high in acid, unless you like that sort of stuff. I mean, I have some guys, some friends that love the acid trip on a wine, and they would like this. But however, I don't. This is a food Nero de Avola for sure. So that in mind, I'm going to go C on this one too. Even though it's got more structure, a little bit more depth than that one, I still think it's an average wine. It certainly doesn't have anything outstanding, but it definitely is not below average. There you go. God, am I getting kind of critical in my old age? I don't know. I just noticed when I did my top 40 wines under 20 bucks that I published on the Blue Collar Wine Guy. Yeah, it was hard for me to find. I don't think I gave any wines a straight up A or A plus. I think they were all A minuses. Okay, this is all these vintage, 2013 Nicosia Nero de Avola out of Sicily. This rolls in at $12. There you go. Okay. I don't know if you can see this. This has a really cool little map of Italy, and then down to Sicily, the little island off. See on the back there, the little island. Yeah, Sicily. There you go. All right, let's see what we get on the nose. These guys, these wines are going to make me a liar about transitioning from New World to Old World wine. Let's see what we get on the nose. Okay, this is even deeper on the nose. This one, I can literally smell the dirt. I can smell dirt on this wine. I'm getting currants, a little bit of blackberry, kind of boysenberry, you know, the fatter berries. Currants, I'm getting a little bit of there's some sort of spice coming through. This one also has chocolate tones on it. I'm curious what this is going to be like on the palate. But yeah, definitely the dirt comes through big time with the fruit and the chocolate. So let's see what we get on the palate. All right. This is what I expect out of most Nero de Avolas that I would recommend. Not all of them. I mean, obviously those have a place in the wine spectrum, but this is definitely a deeper style. It still has the acidity, but it has the fruit too. I like this because it stays true to Old World, but it has just enough fruit to keep most people interested. There's definitely a citrus component on this one, blended with the blackberries and currants, and that earthiness definitely hangs on the backside. You definitely get that kind of forest floor, you know, bark dirt sort of thing going on. With the citrus, it kind of hangs around. These are interesting. These two straight up Nero d'Avolas have way more citrus acidity than I've had in other Nero d'Avolas, at least in my memory bank. That's what I'm remembering. But nice balance. This has a good flow across the palate, but still, that citrus makes me want to take a pepperoni stick or a slice of beef jerky and start munching on it. My mouth is watering. I'm salivating big time because of the acidity and the citrus notes in this wine. Very interesting to see that in these wines. Now, that being said, it could be timing too on everything as far as my palate goes, and that's true with everybody. Have you ever noticed that one day a wine tastes really good, the next day it doesn't taste quite the same? Well, that's partly because it could be the moon. Some people are convinced about the moon cycles. All of that affects your palate. I'm not sure. I haven't done the research on that yet, but this is a good Nero d'Avola. I think it also needs food. This needs steak, red pasta sauce. It needs pizza, it needs stew, it needs one of those things. I could drink this one by itself before I could drink that one by itself. So, that being said, this has got more structure, more balance. It is. It has that definite, a little bit of leather action on the backside. I'm going to go C plus B minus on that one. I think it's a little bit better than the other two, but definitely it's a step up for sure. So there you go. Nero d'Avola blend from Sicily. Thanks for watching. I'm going to start mentioning if you have any questions that you would like me to, if you have any suggestions or questions for me to answer on my YouTube channel, you can tweet me at Stan the Wine Man, or you can go to my Facebook page, Stan Rattan, or you can, also would appreciate it if you read my blogs, stanthewineman.com and the Blue Collar Wine Guy on the PI. I'll put those links down below. Check them out, see what you think. I appreciate your opinion. I appreciate the comments. Keep commenting. Give me some ideas. What do you think of this video? What can I do better? I really do want to improve on these a lot. You keep watching, and I'll keep helping you spend your wine dollars twice.
Hey, Cat. It's 4 o'clock in the morning. I just left the studio. Here we are in Harlem. Everybody's here but the police, and they'll be here any minute.